Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the U-try from day 2, which is talks about measures of dispersion, which is standard deviation and variance. And you're pretty much doing the same thing over here on the left and the right. I did mark through the entrance ticket, the second one, just because it was repetitious. Like in general, I would just, make one copy and then cut them into 2 since it's only 2 problems. So don't worry about this part. But so really make sure that you notice, so you've got your mean, which is what we've already talked about, your average, mean absolute deviation. So the whole purpose of standard deviation tells us how far away our points are from our mean. So are my points really close together? Are they, showing any kind of reasonable commonality, or are they very spread out and just kind of chaotically all over the place with outliers? So the first thing I did, just like before, is I went to Stat Edit and I entered in the data in L1 for my X, and I just need the mean, which is the average. So I'm going to hit Stat Calc 1 Variable Statistics, and my average is 6. So I'm going to put that. So if your average is 6, in order to get the mean absolute deviation, you can look at the examples over here. So in order to find the mean absolute deviation, you literally find the difference between the data point and the average. You add all of those together and divide by how many there are. So my mean was 6. So the distance between 0 and 6 is 6. And then also this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 total, so I'm going to be dividing that value by 7. Looking at 10, so 10 would be 4 away from my average. 14 would be 8 away from the average. 6 would be 0 away because that is my average. 0 would be 6 different, and then 2 different, and then 2 different again. So in order to find the mean absolute deviation, I'm going to add all of those numbers together and divide them by 7. So 6 plus 4 plus 8 plus 0 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got them all in. So I'm going to hit enter, divide by the 7. So my mean absolute deviation is 4. In order to figure out what standard deviation is, this is actually the symbol that you're going to see. This is theta x. So when I go back to where I had it calculate my 1 variable statistics, theta x is actually your standard deviation. So this standard deviation is about 4.8. And I got that straight from the calculator. There is a very long process if you want to find that by hand. And then this is the process. They have a lot of awesome videos online. But for Math 1, all you really need to know is that standard deviation is used to talk about the dispersion of your data and how close everything is, or how far apart your data is dispersed. And then your variance is just where you found your standard deviation, and you're just going to square it. So our standard deviation was 4.8, so you just square that value, and it's 23.04. So that would be your variance, 23.04. And that is what you do for these questions, and also the 1 and 2 over to the right.